If you're an agency owner and you've had any curiosity about AI, you've probably heard people talking about MCP connections in Claude and the different things that they're doing with it to change how they operate on a day-to-day basis. It's an extremely exciting day for me and the team here at AgencyZoom because we're finally ready to roll out the MCP connector that we've been working on for several months on the actual beta testing, and it's actually something that goes back to nearly mid last year that has been a foundational piece of AgencyZoom as we navigated the waters of understanding exactly what each agency needed and learning a little bit more every single day. I finally came to the decision that there was no reason to contain the MCP within actual AgencyZoom system when so many agencies were learning more and more how to leverage Claude within their day-to-day business to actually truly make an impact. This is something that we made the decision about a month ago and began the process of rolling it out where it connected Claude. And then several people came into a beta cohort and have done a tremendous job in helping us actually test and fine tune through that process. I actually added somewhere around 20 more tools to the MCP server, and it's now actually rolled into AgencyZoom subscription packages, and it's ready to go out and start being used by current AgencyZoom subscribers as well as anybody that new comes on board. I'm going to cut over to a clip here in just a second with a quick showcase of one just simple use case of how you can actually use the tool in a day-to-day environment and truly be impactful. It's something that I believe has the power to really change how agencies operate and communicate back and forth with AgencyZoom, because the worst part of every one of our days is the actual entry of all the data that's required to get to what's most important to us, which is selling policies. This tool is something that's really going to take that a step forward in the simplicity of how we operate. So I'll cut over to that and walk through it, and then we'll come back and go over some of the actual tools and use cases that you can use it. If you're anything like me and most every agency principal and producer I've ever met, you absolutely love to sell policies, but you hate to actually do the parts that are tough about it where you have to input all the information. So I'm going to show you really quick with MCP just how easy it is to use Claude connected to your AgencyZoom to get the information that you need in. I've got my phone out, and it'll be on the screen here as well, and I'm going to just kind of show you exactly what that process looks like, where I'm just going to talk to my phone, take a picture of the VIN plate, and then we'll go from there. So, hey Claude, I need you to put a new lead in for Matthew Henry. It's going to be an auto opportunity in the new business pipeline. The truck, I'll share a picture of the VIN plate. Go ahead and decode that if possible, and open up that auto opportunity for new business lead. Now I'm simply going to take a picture right here of the VIN plate on the truck. And I'm going to hit go as soon as that comes in. That's something that you can do every day. Another thought while this loads is you can actually go as far as to using this for things as simple as you've got a house that you need to insure. You can go out there, take pictures of it, go ahead and tell it to its best knowledge, input the information about it. There's all kind of use cases, but you'll see here as it runs, and we'll let it continue. It's going to decode the VIN first. It figured out that it's a Ford truck, F-150 3.5 engine, build date in 11/16. Then it's going to load the AgencyZoom tools. I've got the creation tools. Now I need to resolve a few IDs before I can create anything. So the new business pipeline, it's got to figure that out really quick. I haven't actually used my sandbox in a few days, so it hasn't got the org context right here in my phone. So now it's got the org data that it needs. Now it's going to figure out the employee numbers to make sure that it can assign it to me. So you can see here, this is actually really neat. It's deliberating between standard auto and private passenger auto. It's intelligently trying to decide which business class to put it in. That's something that this AgencyZoom really doesn't have tons of skills, but as you can see now here at the bottom, it's creating the lead. So this is something that's just a quick and easy showcase in less than 5 minutes of exactly what you can do to go in and put a new lead in right here off your phone. You don't have to type all the information in, transpose the VIN number. It can reduce errors, make everyday life quicker. And the goal is to simplify the robot work that you have to do every day to get you in front of customers to sell more policies. As I just showed in the clip of me actually putting myself in with my truck as a lead, I want to challenge you with just really thinking, what if you could just ask your agency Zoom, what are the possibilities that you could accomplish? Whether it's renewals, leads, some kind of report that you simply couldn't get. One agency that's been in the beta cohort went as far as to actually building a commission tracker that they always struggled with being able to figure out exactly how they did it. They were able to set up some scheduled tasks utilizing MCP that helped them in more effectively running their agency. Renewals is one really big thing that you can work with and see as you're thinking about the MCP. You can see upcoming policies. You can look at your renewal pipeline within service. As you go through there, another thing that I want you to think about is on the sales side of it, what if you could just start out your morning by simply asking Claude, hey, what leads are stalled in my pipeline? What do I need to talk to my producers about today to more effectively drive business through the agency? These are all possibilities that open up when you think about an MCP connecting to Claude. And at the end and the root of it, what would you ask if you could simply ask anything? Because the MCP has pretty much robust coverage across the entirety of AgencyZoom and the different things that it does. So it really opens it up to being able to think about you can interact with your leads and pipeline. You can list as well as input quotes and opportunities. You can find your customers and policies, renewals and endorsements that live in AgencyZoom. A really big thing that a lot of our beta testers utilized the tool for was their actual service center and tickets. They were able to flow service center tickets throughout the pipeline. And even myself, we were born here in an agency. I sit within McWright Insurance Group every day. There's times when I actually kind of help and do things within the agency. And last couple of weeks ago was one of those times when we had some really bad storms come through and the team was just incredibly busy. So some of the rollover phone calls actually landed on my phone. Instead of having to go into AgencyZoom and go through all the trouble of inputting new service tickets and creating the notes, I simply hit the microphone right here on my computer, talk through the phone call that I just went through, let Claude set up the service ticket and route it to the appropriate person here inside the agency. The final couple of things that you can think about that the tools can touch is going to be your notes and emails. It can actually list and see the emails that are tied to AgencyZoom. Within your quotes and opportunities, as well as your customers, you can interact with your drivers and your vehicles, which also gets you ready to move into PL Rater or whatever rater that you use that's potentially tied to AgencyZoom. And then finally, you can see your carriers, CSRs, and your organizational context data. That last one is probably one of the most critical things that gets stepped over because without that, it truly doesn't understand how to interact. You actually saw it in the video of me putting a lead in. It's something that it pulled and looked at what sales pipelines I had and then quickly decided that which one it needed to go into based on the organization context. I'm incredibly excited that this is something that's rolling out. You can learn more about it on our website. It's going to be rolled into our basic subscription that's $40 a month or just over $370 if you pay for it annually. And I can promise you from the testing that we've done and with the cohort, $370 for a year's use of it within a couple of weeks, just in time back within your day and your week inside the agency, you will more than pay for it. And so we're incredibly excited to bring this to the market. We tried to do it at a price that was affordable and empowered you to get in there and learn with AI, see how these tools and connectors can truly make an impact on your day, and get started really moving the ball forward with how we can operate in the future as an independent agency.